What if I told you your cat doesn't just like you, it sees you as its mother? In this video, you'll learn 7 signs that reveal your cat has fully bonded with you like a kitten does with its mom. Most people miss these signs and never realize how deeply their cat depends on them. Number 1. Sleeping with you. When your cat curls up beside you to sleep, it might seem like a simple act of affection, but in the feline world, this is a deeply meaningful gesture. Sleep is when cats are at their most defenseless. In the wild, a sleeping cat is vulnerable to predators, sudden threats, and environmental dangers. So, when your cat chooses to sleep with you, they're making a deliberate decision. They trust you completely to keep them safe during their most vulnerable hours. This kind of trust isn't given lightly. It's earned over time through consistent care, predictability, and gentle interactions. This behavior is rooted in their earliest experiences. As kittens, their first sense of safety came from sleeping in a warm pile with their mother and siblings. It was in that pile that they felt the rhythmic heartbeat of their mother, shared warmth, and learned the comfort of close contact. When your cat replicates this with you, it's not just about warmth, it's about emotional security. You're playing the role of the mother figure, the guardian, and even the safe zone in their environment. But there's more to it. Cats are territorial creatures. Your cat views your home, and especially the places you spend the most time, like your bed, as part of their claimed territory. By sleeping with you, they're both reinforcing their bond and mingling their scent with yours. It's a dual-purpose behavior, bonding and claiming. They have scent glands in their paws, cheeks, and flanks, and as they press against you, they're marking you with a comforting, "You belong to me" scent signature. This builds mutual familiarity and reduces anxiety, especially in multi-pet households or environments with frequent changes. Also, don't underestimate the importance of warmth. Cats have a slightly higher resting body temperature than humans, around 102 degrees Fahrenheit, 39 degrees Celsius, and they naturally seek out heat sources to conserve energy. Your body, your blanket, or even just your presence becomes a perfect heating pad, especially during colder seasons. That cozy pile of blankets you wrap yourself in at night? To your cat, that's prime real estate. And interestingly, this sleeping behavior can also indicate your cat's social structure. In multi-cat homes, dominant or bonded cats often sleep together. So if your cat chooses you over another spot in the house, it's also an indicator of how high you rank in their social hierarchy. You're not just a safe person. You're their preferred companion, their closest ally. Even more fascinating, cats are crepuscular, meaning they're naturally active at dawn and dusk. Their sleep patterns often mirror yours, not because of instinct, but because they adapt to the routine of their favorite human. If you sleep at night, they'll gradually sync up, even if it goes against their biological norm, because being with you matters more. So, the next time your cat hops onto your bed, needs your blanket, and dozes off beside you, remember, it's not just for warmth or comfort. It's a powerful, silent statement. I trust you. I feel safe with you. Your family. Number 2. Seeking you out. When scared or in distress. Fear is a primal response. It kicks in when something feels unfamiliar, threatening, or out of control. And like all animals, cats have their own way of responding. While they may have a reputation for being independent or even aloof, what they do in moments of distress reveals their true emotional attachments. If your cat gets startled, whether it's a thunderstorm, a sudden loud noise, an unfamiliar visitor, or even the dreaded vacuum, and they instinctively run toward you, not away from you, that's a big deal. That simple choice tells you volumes about how they see you in their little world. You see, when a cat is frightened, their default survival mode is flight. Get to shelter, fast. Their instincts are wired to look for the safest possible place, somewhere they won't be seen, touched, or harmed. So if your cat bypasses the closet, skips the bed frame, and heads straight for your lap, or the space beside you, they're telling you, "You are my safe zone." This behavior is heavily influenced by kittenhood. When kittens are afraid or uncertain, they immediately look for their mother. She's their protector, the one who fends off threats, keeps them warm, and makes the world feel okay. So when your adult cat runs to you in fear, they're reverting to that same deeply ingrained pattern, and they're casting you in that maternal or guardian role. This emotional bond, often underestimated in cats, is strong and complex. They're not just looking for a hiding spot, they're looking for comfort, assurance, and safety. And it's not always about life or death fear either. Emotional distress comes in many forms. It could be loneliness, confusion, overstimulation, or even pain. For example, if your cat has an upset stomach or just came back from the vet and they seek you out instead of hiding, it means they associate your presence with relief. They believe that simply being near you helps them feel better. That's not instinct. That's emotional intelligence and learned behavior. Cats don't do this with everyone. They do it with someone they've built trust with. This is why understanding feline body language in those moments is crucial. Look for signs like wide eyes, flattened ears, crouching posture, or a tightly tucked tail. If they press against you, vocalize, or climb onto your lap in these moments, they're not being needy. They're self-soothing by anchoring themselves to their emotional support system, you. It's also worth noting that not all cats express this bond the same way. Some may not run directly into your arms, but they'll stay close, within eyesight, or in a room where they can monitor your presence. That's their version of sticking close to the leader of the pride. Others might follow you around quietly or hide under something, but only if you're nearby. Again, it's not just about hiding. It's about hiding with their trusted companion. And here's something fascinating. This behavior becomes stronger the more consistent and calm your responses are. If your cat learns that you don't panic, raise your voice, or force interactions when they're scared, they're more likely to come to you in the future. You become their emotional anchor, a living source of stability in an unpredictable world. So the next time your cat darts into your room during a thunderstorm or presses their head into your chest after a stressful moment, don't just dismiss it as a quirky behavior. It's a deeply instinctive act of trust and emotional dependence. In their eyes, you're not just a pet owner. You're their safe haven in a world that often feels too loud, too fast, and too unfamiliar. Number 3. Waiting for you to come home. If you've ever caught your cat sitting by the door, staring out the window, or even pacing near your usual entryway when you're gone, you're witnessing something that goes far beyond routine behavior. Waiting for you isn't just about watching the clock. It's a powerful sign of emotional connection and dependence. Despite the long-standing myth that cats are solitary and aloof, this kind of behavior proves the opposite. Cats can form strong attachments to their humans, and they feel your absence just as they feel your presence. Cats are creatures of habit. They're highly observant and excellent at picking up subtle patterns. Over time, your cat learns your daily rhythm. When you wake up, when you feed them, when you leave, and when you usually return. This isn't just them being smart, it's part of how they build security in their world. So when you deviate from that pattern, or leave for a while, your cat may wait by the door, not just because they miss you, but because they're anticipating the return of that familiar structure that makes them feel safe. This kind of waiting behavior is especially common in cats that have formed a secure bond with their human. In fact, research shows that cats can experience something similar to separation anxiety, particularly if they've had strong, consistent interaction and affection. So when they wait for you, it's not just out of habit. It's because your presence brings comfort, stimulation, and emotional fulfillment. You are the provider of food, yes, but also of warmth, play, and social engagement. Many cats live in relatively quiet environments where you are their main source of excitement. Your arrival may mean it's time for petting, a meal, a nap together, or a game with the feather wand. These repeated positive interactions create a powerful association in your cat's mind. You equals good things. That's why your footsteps in the hall, the sound of your keys, or even your scent on the breeze can trigger them to run to the door. Interestingly, not all cats wait in the same way. Some will park themselves by the window for hours, watching and listening. Others will hang around doorways, following any movement in the hallway. Some might vocalize when they hear you coming, while others go quiet and freeze in anticipation. And in multi-person homes, cats will often pick their favorite human to wait for, the one who they've bonded with most deeply. What's more, this waiting habit can start to influence their internal clock. Just like how they align their sleeping and eating schedules with yours, Many cats develop a sense of timing that seems eerily accurate. They'll be at the door 5 minutes before you usually get home, not because they understand time the way we do, but because they've learned to track environmental cues, like how light changes, ambient sounds shift, or the house's energy quiets down before your arrival. And for indoor cats, whose world is mostly confined to a single environment, you are the one variable that brings change, energy, and novelty into their lives. When you leave, the stimulation stops. When you return, the world becomes alive again. That's why waiting by the door can sometimes be paired with a burst of excited meows, tail twitches, or that adorable flop they do on the floor the moment they see you. So the next time you walk through the door and your cat is right there waiting, tail up, eyes wide, maybe letting out a soft chirp, know this: you're not just the person who fills the bowl. You're their favorite part of the day, the living heartbeat of their home, and a source of calm in a world they don't fully understand. Number 4. Rolling over to show their belly. If you've ever seen your cat flop onto their side, roll onto their back, and expose that soft, fluffy belly, you've just been given one of the most powerful gestures a cat can offer. In feline language, this is not just a cute or playful pose. It's a profound act of trust and emotional comfort. The belly is the most vulnerable part of a cat's body. It houses vital organs and is protected by minimal muscle and bone. In the wild, predators go straight for the underbelly, and cats know this. So when a cat willingly exposes it, especially in front of you, it means they feel completely safe in your presence. This position tells you two very important things. First, it signals trust. Your cat doesn't expect you to hurt them, startle them, or take advantage of their vulnerability. In that moment, they're letting their guard down entirely. And that's not something cats do lightly. Especially for cats with trauma, rescue backgrounds, or naturally cautious personalities, exposing the belly can be a milestone in your relationship. Secondly, it's a strong sign of contentment. Cats will only adopt this pose when they feel secure in their environment. A cat that's anxious, stressed, or unsure will always keep its body in a guarded position, tucked paws, tail wrapped close, belly hidden. But when you see the belly roll, that's a cat saying, "I'm comfortable. I trust this space. I trust you." It can also be a sign of playfulness. Sometimes, especially with younger or more energetic cats, the belly-up posture is an invitation to interact, but not necessarily to rub. Here's where many people misread the signal. While dogs often show their bellies as a universal request for affection, cats are more nuanced. Showing the belly doesn't automatically mean, "please touch." For some cats, it's just a way to stretch out, cool off, or say, "Hey, I'm feeling good." For others, it might be a trap. Try to rub that tummy, and you could end up with a playful bite or bunny kick. That's because the belly is a defensive zone, and even if they trust you, many cats have an instinctive reaction to being touched there. The key is learning your cat's individual preferences. Some cats do enjoy gentle belly rubs, especially if they grew up being handled that way, or if they have a naturally affectionate personality. Others might tolerate it but prefer scritches behind the ears, under the chin, or at the base of the tail. The safest move is to observe. If your cat exposes their belly, try talking to them softly, maybe extending your hand slowly. If they lean into it or keep purring, that's a green light. If they tense up, grab your hand, or flick their tail, that's your cue to back off. Another layer to this behavior is body temperature. Cats sometimes roll onto their backs to cool off, especially on cool surfaces like tile or hardwood floors. That soft, hairless tummy is great for releasing heat. So sometimes the gesture is more about temperature than trust. But if they do it near you or while maintaining eye contact with relaxed body language, it's almost always a social cue. Even among bonded cats, this behavior is rare. You'll see it during grooming sessions or while playing, but it's reserved for moments when both cats feel totally relaxed. So if your cat does it around you regularly, you're part of a very exclusive inner circle. In short, when your cat shows you their belly, they're offering you a rare and precious window into their emotional world. Whether it's an invitation to pet, a declaration of trust, or just a big feline stretch, it's a reminder that your cat sees you not as a threat, but as someone they feel completely safe around. Number 5. Giving gentle bites. At first glance, a cat bite might seem like a warning sign. After all, biting is usually associated with aggression or fear. But in the feline world, context is everything, and not all bites are created equal. There's a distinct difference between a defensive, fear-driven bite and what many cat guardians call love bites. These gentle nibbles, often delivered during moments of cuddling, petting, or play, are actually part of a cat's emotional vocabulary. When your cat gives you a soft bite, especially one that doesn't break the skin or come with aggressive body language, it's their way of expressing affection and connection. To understand this behavior, we need to look at how kittens interact with each other. In a litter, kittens engage in constant physical play, pouncing, chasing, wrestling, and yes, biting. These soft bites are not just roughhousing, they're essential for building social bonds and learning boundaries. When a kitten bites too hard, their sibling yelps or backs off, teaching them where the line is. Through this give and take, cats learn how to control their bite pressure, what animal behaviorists call bite inhibition. So when your adult cat gives you a gentle nibble, they're not trying to hurt you. They're tapping into that same kitten-like behavior, treating you as part of their social circle. You're essentially being included in their inner group, the same way they would interact with a littermate or trusted companion. These soft bites can mean a few different things depending on the moment. During cuddles, it might be a playful way to say, "I like you, but I'm getting a little overstimulated." During grooming sessions, where a cat licks you and then follows up with a tiny bite, it might be part of their natural grooming behavior. Cats will often lick and nibble their close companions to remove fur knots or dirt. So when your cat does it to you, it could be their way of grooming you back, returning the favor. But love bites can also be a communication tool. Cats don't have a lot of ways to tell you that's enough, or, hey, pay attention to me. A soft bite can be a nudge. It might mean, stop petting me right there, or, I'm bored, let's play. Unlike hissing, swatting, or hard bites, these soft nibbles aren't meant to scare or punish. They're precise, controlled, and often followed by licking, headbutting, or purring. It's important, however, to pay close attention to body language. A soft bite accompanied by relaxed ears, slow blinking, or purring is affectionate. But if it's paired with a twitching tail, pinned back ears, or tense muscles, your cat might be overstimulated or annoyed. Cats can become petting aggressive if stroked too much, especially along sensitive areas like the belly or base of the tail. That love bite might be their polite way of saying, "I've had enough now." Some cats also give soft bites as part of their morning or nighttime routine, almost like a quirky ritual. If your cat gently bites you after waking up or during play, it might be part of how they bond with you at specific times of day. It's their unique signature of affection, one that not all cats express, and one that usually indicates a strong emotional connection. So while it might seem strange or even confusing, a soft bite from your cat can actually be a high-level form of communication. It's not aggression, it's intimacy, expressed in the only way your cat knows how. And once you understand the intent behind it, those little nibbles become something special, a sign that your cat sees you not just as a caretaker but as family. Number 6. Responding to your voice. When your cat perks up at the sound of your voice or comes trotting into the room after you call their name, it's not just coincidence, it's connection. Cats have a finely tuned sense of hearing, capable of detecting subtle shifts in tone and pitch, and they absolutely can distinguish your voice from everyone else's. But what's really fascinating is how they respond, and what that response says about your relationship. Studies have shown that cats not only recognize their owner's voice, but they respond to it differently than they do to strangers. In fact, a 2013 study published in Animal Cognition found that while cats may not always physically react when called by name, they do show subtle signs of recognition. Their ears flick, their pupils dilate, and their heads turn toward the sound. These aren't just reflexes, they're signs that your voice registers on an emotional level. Now think about this. In the wild, communication between cats is mostly subtle. Body language, scent, and soft vocalizations like chirps or purrs. But in a human household, your cat learns to adapt. They start to pick up on how you talk, what tone you use when you're feeding them, when you're calm, and when you're stressed. They associate your voice with outcomes, food, affection, safety, or sometimes something to avoid, like a trip to the vet. Over time, this builds a kind of auditory bond, where your voice becomes not just familiar, but comforting. And there's a deep biological root to this behavior. Kittens begin life almost blind and deaf, but their mother's purring and vocal calls become the first sounds they learn to trust. These sounds are associated with warmth, milk, grooming, and safety. So when your adult cat reacts to your voice by meowing back, rubbing against you, or even just blinking slowly, they might be subconsciously connecting your voice to those early feelings of security. You're not just someone who feeds them. You're a surrogate figure of comfort, guidance, and stability. The way your cat responds also reveals their personality and emotional state. Some cats are vocal conversationalists. They'll chirp, meow, or trill back when you talk to them, especially if you've encouraged this over time. Others may be more reserved but will still show their engagement through subtle gestures, ears rotating toward you, tail flicks, or calmly approaching you when they hear your voice. These are powerful signs that, in their eyes, you're not just background noise. You're an important figure in their social world. Even tone matters. Cats are experts at detecting emotional cues in your voice. They can sense when you're happy, frustrated, or upset. If you've ever noticed your cat acting differently when you're sad or stressed, maybe staying closer than usual, following you around, or even vocalizing more, it could be their way of responding empathetically to the changes in your tone and mood. Some cats will even come sit near you or make physical contact when they hear your voice take on a distressed tone, showing a surprisingly intuitive level of emotional sensitivity. And here's something even more interesting. Cats can learn specific words. Not just their name, but other words they've associated with routine activities, like treat, dinner, or toy. Some clever cats even respond to phrases like, "Where's your mouse?" or "Want to go to bed?" So when they perk up at a specific word, it's not random. They've made a mental link between that sound and a specific, often positive, experience. Ultimately, when your cat responds to your voice, it's not just because they recognize it, it's because they trust it. Your voice has become a familiar thread woven into the fabric of their daily life, a cue for food, play, love, and safety. And in a world that often feels unpredictable to a small, sensitive creature, the sound of your voice can be one of the most reassuring things they know. Number 7. Sitting on your belongings. You leave a hoodie on the bed, and within minutes, your cat is curled up right on top of it. Or maybe they always sit on your laptop, your freshly folded laundry, or that one book you're trying to read. To us, it might seem like odd or inconvenient behavior, but in the world of cats, this action speaks volumes. When your cat sits, lies down, or rubs against your belongings, they're not just choosing a comfy spot. They're sending a message, both to you and to the invisible world of scent that cats live in. Cats have specialized scent glands in multiple areas, most notably on their cheeks, forehead, flanks, and at the base of their tail. These glands release pheromones, invisible chemical markers that carry information about identity, territory, and mood. In the wild, scent marking is a cat's primary tool for communication, far more effective than vocalizations. When a wild cat rubs against a tree, rock, or another cat, they're laying down a scented signature that says, "This is mine. I've been here. I belong here." So when your cat sits on your sweater, your bed, or even your laptop, they're doing something deeply instinctual, but with a surprisingly emotional twist. They're mingling your scent with theirs, creating a kind of shared scent identity. In the feline mind, scent equals familiarity, safety, and social bonding. Your belongings are saturated with your scent, from skin oils to sweat to your natural body chemistry, and your cat recognizes that. By rubbing against or lying on your stuff, they're marking it as a part of their world, and by extension, affirming that you are a part of their world too. This behavior is especially common in affectionate or socially bonded cats. It's a way for them to feel close to you when you're not around. If you're gone for long hours, your belongings provide emotional comfort. Your scent lingers on your pillow, your shoes, your bag, and your cat seeks it out like a security blanket. It's their way of staying connected to you, even in your absence. It's not uncommon for cats to sleep in their owner's laundry baskets or curl up in their shoes simply because those items carry the strongest trace of your scent. There's also a subtle social signal happening. By marking your things, your cat is essentially creating a mutual territory. It's not just their space anymore, it's shared space. In multi-cat households, this scent blending plays a major role in group harmony. Cats that groom each other, rub heads, or sleep together are constantly exchanging scent to reinforce social bonds. When your cat transfers that same behavior to your belongings, they're elevating you to in-group status. They see you not just as a provider, but as part of their social unit. And yes, sometimes it's about attention. Your laptop is warm, your keyboard makes noise, and your cat knows it gets your focus. Sitting on it might be a playful way to redirect that attention back to them. But even in these moments, the act of rubbing their scent on your stuff still communicates affection and a desire to be close.